Hi everyone, welcome to Artsy Addict's Techniques blog hop. Okay, you would have come over from Angee Lee Butler's blog, and I hope you've had a wonderful time learning Angie's technique. Today's technique that I'm going to be showing you is fabric embossing. Here's a sample, let's have a look. We've used cardstock and some chipboard embellishments and fabric, and this is great like for backgrounds, for card projects, scrapbooking projects. You can use any shape in your die cuts. We're actually going to do a bird cage. What you'll need a die cut, any shape. We're going to do the bird cage, but any shape will do. Obviously you'll need some chipboard for your shape to sit on. You'll need some fabric. Now I'm using two fabrics today. You only need one for the actual bird cage, but I'm also going to be doing a background piece which the bird cage then will sit on. You'll also need a pair of scissors or a rotary cutter. I'm a patchworker also, so wonderful tool. You'll need an embossing stylus pen. This will get into all the little grooves inside the die cut. This isn't required, but I just find it absolutely helps when you're spreading out your glue, because you don't want big globs of glue, you want a really thin, even layer of glue across your project. And obviously we're going to need some glue. The type of glue you're going to be using is just a PVA or a tacky adhesive, because you want to be able to work with the glue. If you use the quick dry, you're not going to be able to work your project. I'm not saying that you can't do it, but you don't want the project to dry too quickly. Base backgrounds, like if you were just doing a straight background with no embossing on it, the quick dry adhesive is probably okay. But if you're working with the die cuts, you're going to have to use a glue that's not going to dry quickly. Okay, so let's get on to the technique. First up, we're going to, you want to trim your fabric larger than your work area. See, so easy, that rotary cutter. Okay, first we'll work on our background. Now the measurements that I've for the background is 5 inches by 4.5 inches wide. Just going to get some glue and we're going to spread out the glue. Work too slow. You can also use your fingers if you do. Another little hint, and I love this product, baby wipes. They're my go-to when I'm gluing. I always keep one handy. Well, let's see, I'll just wipe it. Or a craft mat. Craft mats are wonderful too, but it's one product I do not have at the moment. Now it's going to warp your your chipboard's going to warp slightly, but that's okay. It'll be all right in a moment. And you're just going to press it down. Okay, and here's my roller, because you don't want any air bubbles, so I just use a glue stick. Use what you have in stock. And because this is just a background piece, we can get our heat gun and dry that. because we're not going to be doing any more work to it at the moment. Okay. Oh, I've just caught that. That's alright. You want to centre your fabric over, not just like what I've just done. That was silly. And then you can go and trim it up. Oops. Definitely time for a new blade. This rotary cutter does get used a fair bit. Alright, you're just following the line of the cardboard. Oops, these little scissors. Just trim that up. Okay. The lens. Alright, so now we've got our background. I'm just going to trim up this side end. Okay, there you go. Alright, so that's our background done. We can set that aside for the time being. Oops. Just put that there. Alright, our next piece. That's same again. This time we're going to be gluing our die cut. Same thing, we want glue all over our base. Now some fabrics, if they're an open weave, really loose open weave, have to be careful with the amount of glue because it will come through. I use 100% cottons being a patch worker. And they're the fabrics that I do prefer. But you can use whatever's available. I just prefer the cotton fabrics. I like the quality and I like the colours. There's wide range. And you only need small bits, so it's not too expensive. Oh, okay, so we've got our background covered. Make sure you get all the ends. So you don't want your projects sticking up. We're going to centre our bird cage. Then we're going to just put some glue on top. Alright, for the rest of it, you'll probably want to just try and get those, just use your finger and get some glue inside, down in the bases of grooves. So you want to make sure that your fabric is actually sticking. Okay. Just quick wipe. And again, we're going to lay our fabric. Now you've got a little bit of work time, not a great deal. Wipe that down. Okay. You want to press it just with your hands. Now you can already start seeing the shape of your bird house with our fabric embossing pool. I use the wider end. Whoops. I use the wider point. The fine point you can use for smaller areas. But we'll just use the wider point. And because it's nice and rounded, it'll give us nice grooves. Alright, and you just pick an area. Always start from the centre.